Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the economic doctrines given by Alfred Marshall. Like all other economists, Alfred Marshall is also a famous economist, and his time period is 1842 to 1924. And he has given many contributions, important contributions for economics, especially the concepts like the meaning, definition of economics, what is a law of demand, what is utility, and so on. So we will see that one by one. First of all, he has talked about the concept economics, and his definition is called as materialist definition of economics. We will see that definition. Economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individual and social action which is most closely connected with the attainment and with the use of material requisites of well-being. So it is studying about the human behavior in their day-to-day life. What is his income, how he is meeting out his expenditure. So like that he has analyzed the theory of economics. And he has also talked about the law of diminishing marginal utility. Especially he says utility means one satisfying power of a commodity, and diminishing marginal utility is whenever we take more and more unit of particular commodity, the satisfaction, the one satisfying power of a commodity, it comes down. So that's why he is saying that utility declines with every increase in consumption. And he has also narrated about the demand and the law of demand. If you see the meaning of demand, he says it is not only willingness to buy but also ability to pay for a commodity. A consumer must have the willingness to buy the commodity as well as he should have the ability to pay for the commodity. And then he is also talking about the another concept, that is about consumer surplus. Consumer surplus is nothing but difference between the potential price and the actual price which the consumer is willing to pay. That is, we will be willing to pay a certain price for a commodity, but actually the price of a commodity will be different. So what is that difference? Based on that, he is calculating consumer surplus. Or in other words, he is defining that in this way: the excess of price which the consumer is willing to pay rather than go without the thing over which he actually does pay. So what is the excess price every consumer is willing to pay? So than the actual price, that he narrated as a concept called the consumer surplus. So basically he is saying that it is the difference between the potential price and the actual price. Actual price and the potential price is what we are willing to pay. If we are having that difference here, that difference is calculated as consumer surplus. Then he is also talking about elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand, it is nothing but the responsiveness of demand to a change in price. So whenever there is a change in price, how the demand reacts to the price. So that is called as the elasticity of demand. And in that he has narrated some three types of elasticity, like price elasticity, income elasticity, and cross elasticity. And he has given the formula also, and that is percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in price. So if you are calculating the change in demand, percentage change in demand, and the percentage change in price, we will be able to find out the price elasticity. In the same way, if we are calculating the income elasticity, say for example, percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in income, that will give us income elasticity. And cross elasticity is we will be comparing both the commodities A and B, or X and Y, and so on. So percentage change in demand of commodity X divided by percentage change in price of commodity Y. So this is how he is trying to calculate the concept elasticity of demand. And he was also talking about the concept time element. And we all know the fact that the value of a commodity, it is determined by the demand for the commodity and the supply of the commodity. In the same way, Marshall is also saying the same thing, but he is including the time element for deciding the value of a commodity. and he is dividing the value of the time element into different slots, like very short period, long period, and secular period. Very short period is few days, where we cannot make changes in the total availability of commodity, or certain types of products will be withered away within few hours or within a day. So that will be called as a very short period. Example, we say milk products, like selling of products like milk, flour, all that will lose its quality if it is kept for a long period. So within that time we have to sell off the commodity. So that is a very short period. And short period where we can make slight changes in the variable capital. And long period is a period where we can make changes in both variable capital and the fixed capital. And we have one more period, that is a secular period. It is talking about more than 25 years, where completely everything can be changed, like technology can be changed, or the industrial structure can be changed. So that will be called as a secular period. So time element is also narrated by him, and he is also telling about the cost of production. So cost of production, that also determines decides the price of a commodity. So especially he is talking of two costs. One is the prime cost and another one is a supplementary cost. So when we talk about the prime cost, this is also known as a variable cost. Variable cost meaning is a cost which varies with output. That is a variable cost. So prime cost is also known as variable cost, which means it can be varied with the output. Examples are wages paid to the laborers, raw materials, and so on. And supplementary cost are fixed cost. Supplementary cost, it is also known as a fixed cost. Fixed cost will not vary with the output, total volume of output what we are producing. So examples are investment on plant, salaries of top executives, and so on. So these were the main contributions of Alfred Marshall when we study about the economic doctrines of him. Thank you.